It is November 2nd, just about ready to go fire in the hole. Nice cloudy day. Wind about 10-12 knots, pretty much down the runway, I think. We'll see. Master switch is on. Going by the checklist here. Strobe light is on. After startup, we go nav light, avionics. I'm not going to do landing light today. The nav light turns on the ADS-B, okay? Which is out on the wingtip, recording the flight and what have you. Mixture is forward for the prime. I'm going to do 2 strokes and a half of prime. 1, 2, and about a half. That's what I usually do. Lock it in place. Then I bring mixture out to where I know there's full out. I'll come out there. That's about where I use for takeoff. Stick back toe brake, so you're on top of the brakes here. The rudder pedals, obviously left and right rudder pedals. When you're just using rudder, I don't know if you can see down there, but your feet just go on the bottoms. The brakes are actuated from the top, so you can, push on top. On the ground, I tend to ride my feet up high, so I can kind of, it's less pressure. So that's how you do the braking. We are ready to start. Once we start, we'll get the ATIS 1200 on the transponder. It's already set for that. ATIS is going to be 126.5, and then we'll go to ground 121.8, and then tower 118.4 on the south side of the runway, which is where we're at. Startup tack is 364.3. These are smooth. Okay, I'm going to go stick back, throttle to what I think is about the 1,000 position. Primer is locked, master is on. There's the ignition over here, left, right, and both, okay? And start position. So we're going to start it. When it catches, we release it, get it set for 1,000, 1,100 RPMs. And then this ignition is interesting. On the run-up, it has 2 sides, so it's like a mag, but it's electronic ignition. So you're going to test it. You should see a red light on the left, red light on the right. That tells you one side of the electronic ignition is not working. And then we go back to both and we click on a switch here. There's a fuse breaker here too. Emergency. That runs from an emergency battery in the back of the plane. So we flip that on for about 10 seconds. Make sure it runs the airplane. That light should be yellow. If you were to leave it on, it would charge to green, but for sake of testing, it's yellow. Then you turn it back off and pretty much you've completed your run-up. And of course you're checking for oil pressure on startup, and then you don't do your run-up until you're at about 120, 130 degrees here. Fire in the hole. What time is it? 4:20. Clear. All right. Nice startup. Brakes are running. Now we're going to go, bring that back just a little bit. We're going to go nav on, avionics on. We're going to go to 126. You set the radio here. The big knob is for course. The small knob is for the right-hand side. So we're going to go to 126.5 for ATIS. We make it active here. I'm going to put on noise canceling now as well. All right, noise canceling is on. We're coming over here into the open area. This is where I warm up and run up. Power back. Set where I like it. Let's get her to 80. Full flaps. Nose down. Let's turn inbound, folks. Interesting. I'm going to turn right for the runway. No slip. Might even have to add some power here, ladies and gentlemen. I think we will. Now, I could always back flaps out. In a real situation without power, I could always back flaps out. But it looks like we're going to... Honestly, we'd probably come up short, because once we roll out, we're going to get a little bit of a, we got a headwind, a pretty good one. So it is going to make a difference. I'm going to hold 55, either with power or pitch. Altitude with power, speed with pitch. All right, power out. coast her down, get her close, hold her off, get her down there. There we go. Carb heat in, flaps back in, full power. Off the ground. We are cranking. All right. Interesting. Learning some good stuff today. Got a little more wind than normal, and I'm learning. That's interesting touchdowns with that wind, folks. It definitely helps out quite a bit. All right, power. I'm going to go power back to idle. Carb heat on. Power at idle. Get her down to 80. A little bit of a slip there. Look at that slow down. And we'll go full flaps, right on the nuns. And we're going to turn in. Try to hold 60 and do my slip inbound. That nose up so I keep the speed around 60. Slip it out. Looking good. I don't want to come in too low where I have to add power, you know. I'll square up. Now we do get that headwind, which kind of changes our trajectory. This might work out. Let's see. It might. I think it's gonna. We'll just hold 60 to the deck and flatten it out. I could come in at 50, but with this wind, it makes a little more sense. 55. Just do a nice round out. Nice touch. Nice. Okay, get them flaps out because it wants to sort of fly. Tail down. Carb heat in. Full power. We are flying. Get that power back, reduced about 2,000. That gives us a good 90, 2,500 in the pattern. That seems to work nice for a cruise pattern. So reduce power. Go carb heated about 1,500. Power back to idle. We're in the 80 range. We go full flaps. Stick forward a little bit. That might be part of my problem. Not my problem, but stick forward is a little more than I'm sort of used to here. Let me do a slip out. Hold that nose for the slip. Let's see what we look like here. Pretty good. Pretty good. Hold 60. It looks high. Square it up. Try to see how our coast in looks. I can tighten that short approach up quite a bit. It's the first day I've gotten to really play at the airport. All right, so here we are. Coasting her in at 60. Looking pretty good. Let's see where our touchdown point is. That wind's making the plane want to keep flying. See how we're scooting her in? So it's about 55. We're going to flatten her out. Flatten her out. Let her set in. Let her set in. Let her set in. There we go. Now flaps out. Tail back. Carb heat in. Full power. And she is off. She is off. Hold her up to 70. Get her back, get her down. Cruise about 90 or so downwind-ish. Power back to 1,500. Carb heat. Powered idle. Slip it for a slowdown. That really works. Go full flaps. Nose down to hold about 60. Get into our turn here. Left rudder, we'll do our slip. So we go left rudder, get that aileron down, pitch that nose to hold the speed that you want in your slip. We'll round out of our slip. Maybe we'll come in high straight in so you can really see how the slip kind of works. Now we might even be a little bit, oh, we're going to be short or not. Again, you could always take a notch of flaps out. You'll get a descent in the moment, but then you'll extend your glide over time. So it depends how high you are. That can be a good thing. Now I could slip this. Yeah, I could slip it a little bit. We'll go right rudder. Rudder's down. All right. Let's get her back on target here. Hold her on course, 55, right to the deck. And round her out. Get her lodged in. Get in there, boy. There you go. Nice. All right. Keep her straight. Keep her straight. Stick back. Flaps up. Carb heat in. Full power. On we go. All right. Looks like there's some rain over there. Check it out. There is. There's rain over there, folks. Pretty interesting. All right. Try to do a full stop on this one. Tech. Full flaps. Power dial. Now on this runway, if you look close, there's an extended threshold. So you're not supposed, this is a light airplane, but you're not supposed to touch down before the threshold. Nobody's out there with a measuring stick, but you're supposed to be pretty close to that. So I'm going to do a little bit of a slip here. Right rudder, left aileron down. Left rudder, right aileron down. You can see us slipping in. It's a great way to lose some altitude. It'll take you from about 800 foot a minute descent rate to 1,500 or more. It depends how hard you slip, right? So we're holding 55, very slow. Got to keep the nose down, power in. That's the only way to hold altitude, okay? So we're going to hold 55 till we get close to that threshold. Power out. Coast it to the ground. Coast it to the ground. Get in there, baby. Get in there. Nice. All right. Sweet. Man, with a little bit of wind. Holy shit. All right. Flaps out. Tail back. And turn off the runway. This is Charlie 11. One 3 CLA mile. Taxi with you, Charlie 11 to Delta 11, ramp 6. All right, what a flight. That's the latest I ever flew. What a beautiful, landscape with the clouds and the rain in the distance and the sun kind of, coming through and having the entire runway to ourselves. Scott's already gone, it looks like. He did some touch and goes with his kid. Little kid. All right, 6, 5. All right, we'll go slightly past. Bring her to a stop. Ah, look, I left carb heat out like an idiot. All right. The usual. Throttle up to 1100. Okay. And we're going to go mixture, master, ignition. All right, here we go. Mixture. Master. By putting the key up here, it tells you had to get it to both, unless that thing malfunctioned. All right, so that's all clean and good. Let's see what our shutdown time is. 4:56, so 4:20 to 4:56, so 36 minutes, divide by 6, so there you go. 0.6 total operations time, but we got everything all fuzzled up. It's 5 p.m. That sun is setting. First sunset flight. That was fun. And you know what? We had the entire, look at that girl. She's doing good. She was flying her butt off. And those landings, most of the time I'm landing either with tailwind or light winds or crosswind, so it's a different dynamic. Today it was, had a good headwind.